After 5 years, I perused my master degree as well in geotechnical engineering because I wanted to know more and more about the geotechnical engineering. But there was a turning point where I joined geotechnical and structural contractor, to be honest, and only then I came to know how important the geotechnical engineering to the other field. Because when we were in soil investigation laboratories, unfortunately, we are somehow isolated from the other loop of the project. So they think that they need from us the soil report, small recommendations, what is the bearing capacity, and that's it. While when I moved to the structural engineering and construction firm or field, I came to know this is only the starting point. The soil report is not the end, it's just the starting point in geotechnical engineering. And everything comes or starts from there. In that sense, I could connect the geotechnical engineering with the structural engineering, the soil structure interaction, how our parameters or recommendations matters and affect the projects. And finally, I moved to after another 5 years, I moved to the consultancy field in geotechnical design. And currently, as you said, I'm perusing my PhD program. So that's in a nutshell, I would say, my journey.
Wow, that's a long journey. And I think you've got a touch in almost every aspect of the field that someone can. And it's very interesting.
Hopefully.
Talked about the unpredictability of the soil because I remember I think our first rock mechanics lecture, Professor Zekos was like, there's one thing that you need to know that everywhere the ground is different. And I think that's something that really is like, wow, because everyone thinks that it's a building, it's another residential complex, another metro, but the complexity really starts when you really realize that there's so many more parameters that go into this, whether it's on the construction side, the 1+1 in the structural engineering, or even the site investigation reports. So I think that's great.
Exactly.
And you've also been involved in a couple of high profile big projects like the high speed rail, like the Riyadh Metro. So when it comes to young engineers, how would you say that these projects work? What have been some of the challenges you face as a geotech? And what are some things that you learned?
Well, it was a really significant learning process joining in these mega projects, I would say, because you you will encounter that it's not a one-man show or it's not one field show. It's not only about geotechnical engineering or civil engineering or mechanical. Um, the problem or the challenge was always multidisciplinary. There is a lot of fields and engineers and teams encounter together. But the main challenge, I would say, was the communication among those teams. I came to see many of the problems where I can go on site because the lack of communication, for example, between the site team or the design team or between the geotechnical team and the structural team. So there is always a lack of communication. And I think that was the cornerstone for such kind of problems to enhance what we know now as a digital twinning and BIM and monitoring and integration. So because previously there was a lot of data, there were a lot of data, but it's of no use. It's archived, it's in dusty files, and nobody used them, nobody integrate and connect them together. So that, I believe, was a cornerstone to enhance this integration in our field. So I believe that was one of the main challenge. Another challenge for young engineers when I started young engineers, of course, that if you are seeing something going wrong or you want to advise or apply what you have learned in the field, there is always this age limitation because they used to have this stereotyping of seeing a gray or white haired guy, he will advise or he should advise while you should be a listener. But my simple and humble advice that don't fear out of speaking what you learn. Everyone has a different perspective, a different angle, how he or she is evaluating the problem. So just be confident and share your information, share your knowledge, and keep learning. We are all keep learning. There is no end, especially in geotechnical engineering, again and again. 1 plus 1 equal 2, but not in geotechnical engineering. It could be one day we wake up and we discover something new, and 1 plus 1 might be equal 3.